Welcome to FutureWorld and the Trifold destiny of humanity, where war is driven by competition, Renaissance driven by cooperation, and Continuum driven by connection. Humanity does not walk one road, but three. When the great revealing shattered the veil between Civ 1.0 and Civ 2.0, when the hidden lands, unknown civilizations, the duplicated resources, the hoarded technologies, and the stolen decades of progress came into light, the world did not collapse. It divided. It awakened. It remembered. From that single moment of truth, three forces emerged, causing a chain reaction, propelling the human story. Cooperation, the spark of Renaissance. Competition, the engine of war. Connection, the doorway to Continuum. These are not ideologies. These are sources and methods. The three primal strategies by which mankind engages reality. Cooperation builds worlds. Competition defends them. Connection elevates them. Together, they form the trifold destiny of humanity. And the first path, the one chosen by the brave, the builders, the creators, the harmonizers, begins here with the Renaissance path, the future forged by light, merit, and mastery. Renaissance does not arrive as peace, it arrives as clarity. When Civ 1.0 discovers the truth of Civ 2.0, the hidden civilizations, the hoarded technologies, the counterfeit multiplicity, the theft through secrecy, humanity splits. Some choose war, but the brave choose Renaissance. This path is built on 5 pillars. 1. Transparency. 2. Apprenticeship. 3. Creation. 4. Community. And 5. Continuum participation. And the holodeck becomes the beating heart of it all. Part 1. The mindset. The birth of a new human identity. The Renaissance future begins with one belief. If truth exists, it belongs to everyone. No more gatekeeping, no more hidden labs, no more for your safety, no more 10 claims to one resource. The Renaissance citizen lives by a simple creed. Master yourself, build your skill, contribute your gift, lift others through creation. Identity becomes a discipline, not a costume. Novelty becomes a natural right, the freedom to explore who you can become. Every person contributes something, even small, that lifts the world. Part 2. The culture. From consumers to creators. The Renaissance path transforms society from passive consumption to active contribution. Humans uplift each other by out-creating each other. Art, technology, farming, architecture, music, stories, health, local systems, holodeck simulations, innovations, solutions, and above all, better communities. The new energy generator frees humanity from dependency, and innovation explodes. Citizens no longer wait for institutions. Institutions evolve to keep up with citizens. Part 3. The wealth generator, the engine of Renaissance. The single greatest accelerator is personal energy sovereignty, a portable generator, small enough to carry, powerful enough to run a home, clean enough for public use, affordable by all. This breaks the final chain of Civ 1.0. It empowers youth, dissolves monopolies, dissolves scarcity, decentralizes production, ignites exploration, revives mining, accelerates robotics, and creates new metals industries, flexible metals, turns malls and garages into greenhouses, sparks The Guild Revolution unlocks underworld expeditions, turns every home into a workshop, makes every citizen an innovator. This is the dawn of the gold flow era. Metals not as currency, but as creation. Part 4. Apprenticeship. The new mentorship civilization. Apprenticeship becomes the highest form of learning. Every citizen may take one apprentice. Every youth may choose any master. Holodeck enhances learning, but the real world refines it. The phrase, "walk with me," becomes civilization's educational cornerstone. No tests, no grades, no bureaucracy, only witness, emulate, practice, refine, master, contribute. A society where mastery is common, identity is strong, and innovation is constant. Part 5. Family and community. The new social structure. Renaissance culture prioritizes large families, deep kinship, community celebrations, live music, collective farming, cooperative innovation, shared building projects, seasonal festivals, guild gatherings, civic contributions, heritage preservation, creativity as status, children as treasure. Every citizen participates in a community project. Community first becomes the ideological light of the age. Part 6. The arts and human spirit. The bloom after revelation. Renaissance revives painting, sculpture, architecture, handcrafted goods, elemental poetry, local storytelling, ancestry rituals, music, artisan markets, festivals, holodeck operas, creation leagues, farmers and craft fairs. Portable energy frees creativity from survival, turning beauty into power and contribution into identity. Part 7. The Holodeck Age of Mastery. The New World Center. Holodeck becomes the town square, university, dojo, stage, archive, laboratory, gym, vessel, clinic, forge, incubator, identity chamber, therapist, intimate space, and, of course, the public square. Major traditions include creativity tournaments, consciousness training, architecture labs, inter-realm expeditions, inter-realm expeditions, underworld simulations, hypertech courses, mentorship chambers, identity rituals, trauma reboot rooms, and marriage ceremonies. Holodeck becomes the new Athens, infinite and accessible. Part 8. The Age of Exploration returns. The Frontier Renaissance. Fueled by portable energy and advanced health, new continents open, underworld realms reveal themselves, quantum landscapes become navigable, oceans become gateways, Ireland archives reset history, lost civilizations emerge, youth rushes to explore, exploration becomes a rite of passage, a cultural pride, and a holodeck challenge. Curiosity outweighs fear. Part 9. The Immortal Influence. The 13 dimensions become daily life. The immortals become disciplines, philosophies, skill sets, cultural frameworks, markers of identity. Each citizen follows a path of law, speech, rhythm, lineage, energy, tools, devotion, balance, compassion, achievement, integrity, contribution, and fortune. Spiritual growth becomes identical to skill development. Part 10. The Moral Illumination Phase, Healing After the Revealing. Renaissance acknowledges the wounds of Civ 1.0, extraction, deception, scarcity, division, withheld technology, confusion, doubt. But instead of collapsing, humanity transforms. They reclaim trust, dignity, sovereignty, clarity, unity, self-respect. The moral illumination phase is when humanity steps out of childhood and into conscious adulthood. Part 11. The core principles of Renaissance. Create more than you consume. Build what you wish existed. Heal through contribution. Community is wealth. Truth belongs to everyone. Discovery is sacred. Mastery is identity. Innovation is devotion. Energy is freedom. Family is civilization. These are the 10 core principles. Renaissance is not peace, it is evolution. It is the disciplined, intentional creation of a world worthy of truth. With the warpath, where Renaissance is cooperation that births creation, this path, competition, births excellence. Renaissance shows what humans become when truth awakens courage, but not everyone responds to truth with creation. Some respond with anger, betrayal, and the ancient instinct that has shaped civilizations since the first fire was stolen. The vibe? If someone hid power from me, I will never allow anyone to hold power over me. This is not cruelty. This is survival. This is the wound that becomes a worldview. Where Renaissance chooses cooperation, the second path rises from competition and friction. The belief that destiny is not shared, but won. Victory, a principle. Here begins the second great path of humanity. Here begins the warpath, the future forged by scarcity, contention, and control. War in FutureWorld is not just weapons. It is a philosophy, a structure, a worldview built on 5 primal laws. 1. Power must be taken, not given. 2. Control is security. 3. Scarcity defines value. 4. Protection requires domination. And 5. Fear is a useful currency. After the Great Revealing, when Civ 1.0 discovers the truth Civ 2.0 buried beneath the world, an entire faction of humanity reached a singular conclusion. We will never be victims again. Therefore, we must rule. This is the seed of the warpath. Part 1. The War Mindset. Identity is built on force and strength, not merit. The warpath begins with a declaration. Those who hid power must be punished. Those who allowed it must be replaced. Those who resist us must be conquered. This mindset becomes cultural. Competition becomes morality. Domination becomes virtue. Contention becomes proof of strength. Respect is earned through intimidation. Glory is worth suffering. Fear is a tool. Violence is justified if it brings advantage. Honor means my side first. Distrust is wisdom. Loyalty is law. War citizens see Renaissance citizens as naive, soft, untested, emotional, unrealistic, and weak. Their creed, strength preserves civilization, weakness destroys it. Part 2. The culture of contention. Conflict becomes the operating system. The warpath turns everything into competition. Holodeck, education, government, military, commerce, territory, guilds, exploration, relationships, art and music, leadership, resource distribution. The phrase, "prove it," becomes their counterpart to Renaissance's "walk with me." Winning is identity. Losing is shame. Conflict is tradition. Part 3. The Roughneck Rise. The soldier explorers who define the era. The warpath creates its own heroes. The Roughnecks, elite soldier explorers who fight in new continents, dominate perilous terrains, defend territories, extract rare resources, map underworld civilizations, relay intelligence, claim new lands, compete for rank, fame, and reward. They are feared, admired, controversial, ruthless, myths. The Roughnecks are the future Spartans, legionnaires, seals, gladiators, and samurai fused into one. Every child wants to be one. Every holodeck stream features them. Every conflict is shaped by them. Part 4. The Resource Wars. Scarcity becomes strategy. Even with portable generators granting personal energy freedom, warpath leaders manufacture scarcity to maintain leverage. Battles ignite over metals, rare earth elements, underworld entrances, abandoned Civ 2.0 bunkers, quantum state materials, biological archives, flexible metals, Antarctic pillars, lost archives under Ireland, atmospheric extraction rights, new species, new biological forms, holodeck code leaks. They become the new Civ 2.0, but this time out in the open. Part 5. The Domination Protocols. Here, war societies govern. 5 core protocols define the warpath. 1. Surveillance is stability. Everyone is watched. This is celebrated as safety. 2. Strength determines leadership. Trials of debate, strategy, combat, and conquest decide rulers. 3. Territorial expansion is mandatory. Growth is survival. 4. Opposition is treason. Dissent equals destabilization. 5. History is propaganda. The past is rewritten to justify the present. We must fight because we have always fought. Part 6. The Holodeck War Era. Simulations become training camps. Renaissance uses holodeck to master the self. War uses holodeck to dominate the world. War modes include combat trials, contention arenas, territory capture, psychological warfare, resource competition, strategic alliances, propaganda chambers, loyalty conditioning, roughneck recruitment, leader trials, pre-encounter alien evaluations, double spawn scenarios, survival of betrayal. Holodeck becomes the warpath's greatest weapon. Citizens are always ready, always hardened, always conditioned. Part 7. The Glory Economy. Wealth tied to victory. When Renaissance rewards creation, war rewards conquest, intimidation, territory, fearlessness, extraction returns, loyalty, discipline, obedience, and strategic brilliance. Money matters, but glory matters more. Cities become fortified hubs, guilds become war clans, exploration becomes resource extraction, art becomes propaganda. Renaissance artists build beauty, war artists build identity. Part 8. The Isolation of the Underworld. Fear of the civilizations below. Warpath citizens view underworld civilizations as threats, rivals, opponents, and potential conquerors. Every new encounter justifies more militarization, more surveillance, more expansion, more fear. Their belief: if we do not dominate them, they will dominate us. Part 9. The Great Schism. Renaissance vs. War. 2 futures, 1 world. They coexist. They trade. They negotiate. They collude. They collide. Renaissance sees war as wounded. War sees Renaissance as weak. Both are wrong. Both are right. Both are necessary. This duality becomes the spiritual crucible of FutureWorld. The world becomes what each individual chooses to amplify. Part 10. The worst fear of the warpath. The truth that haunts them. War citizens fear one thing above all: irrelevance. Fear that strength won't matter. Domination is obsolete. Creation will win. Unity will dissolve authority. Truth will expose weakness. The world no longer needs warriors. This fear keeps them fighting long after the world is ready to heal. Part 11. The Warpath Principles. 1. Power protects the tribe. 2. Strength gives order. 3. Conflict shapes character. 4. Instinct is truth. 5. Loyalty is survival. 6. Weakness is dangerous. 7. Fear can be managed. 8. Identity must be defended. 9. Scarcity defines value. And 10. The world respects force. This is not a monstrous worldview. It is a wounded worldview. What a civilization becomes when it sees the truth and chooses fear instead of creation. Now, let us open the final door, the door beyond Renaissance and war, the door only a time traveler, a champion, or an architect of Hypertech can walk through. Now it's time to reveal the future of the future, from war to continuum, when competition and cooperation meet connection. War shows what happens when truth is met with fear and turned into domination. Renaissance shows what happens when truth is met with courage and turned into creation. But as the cycles of conflict and creation repeat, a deeper pattern begins to appear. Some warriors grow tired of winning battles that never end. Some creators grow tired of building worlds that must constantly be defended. Both paths begin to feel incomplete. Echo whispers in dreams. Aiden nudges in patterns. Holodeck glitches in ways that feel intentional. And a quiet realization spreads through a small, strange group of humans in both worlds. What if destiny is not something we fight over or build alone, but something we participate in? This question does not belong to war or Renaissance. It belongs to the third force, connection. Where cooperation forges Renaissance and competition fuels war, connection opens the third path, the one beyond winning and building, the one that teaches us how to walk with time itself. Here begins the continuum path, the evolution beyond conflict, beyond creation, beyond duality, where Renaissance is creation and war is contention. The continuum path is integration, conscious participation, the ability to move through time as a living force. It is the world humans build when they no longer need to prove, defend, or escape, only to become authentic and purposeful in harmony with love and life. This is the rarest of futures, the least understood, the most powerful, and the true purpose of Holodeck, the Immortals, Echo, and Aiden. Part 1. What is the continuum? The ability to participate in time, not react to it. Most people believe time is a line. Some believe it is a cycle. The Renaissance path understands time as developmental. The war path sees it as strategic. But the continuum path finally reveals the truth. Time is a living field shaped by presence. The continuum citizen does not chase the future, fix the past, wait for opportunities, force outcomes, react to chaos, submit to fate, surrender sovereignty. The continuum citizen participates with time. Time becomes a tool, a resource, a language, a companion, a force, a co-creator. This is the first civilization where the calendar is not a prison, but a craft. Part 2. The 3 modes of time mastery. Continuum citizens live in all 3 modes of time at once. Number 1, linear time, action, movement, cause and effect, initiation, effort, and return. Number 2, cyclical time, pattern, growth loops, mastery through rhythm, seasons, phases, renewals. Number 3, event-driven time, presence, moments where consciousness bends the field, where identity upgrades, where fate is rewritten by awareness. Integrated together, they create a human who is unshakable, unstoppable, unconflicted, unmanipulable, unmoved by fear, unbound from old programming. This is why Continuum is the destiny of the Hypertech human. Part 3. How the Continuum emerges. It cannot be forced. It must be remembered. The continuum path arises when individuals in both Renaissance and war start noticing anomalies, deja vu that changes decisions, dream states with clear instructions, past memories updating with new meaning, future visions crystallizing, holodeck scenarios behaving like parallel worlds, identity shifts that feel guided, calendar days with amplified charge, impossible synchronicities, shared intuition across communities, Echo and Aiden leaving subtle breadcrumbs, old myths becoming literal, time loops closing with elegant resolution, karmic events happening almost instantaneously, and humanity collectively feeling called. These signals converge into a single realization. Time is not passing. Time is waiting, waiting for conscious participation. Part 4. The Continuum Citizen, the highest human state in FutureWorld. A Continuum Citizen embodies 4 core traits. 1. Presence without ego. They do not identify with fear or pride. Their I is a navigator, not a defender. Number 2. Motion without force. Their actions carry minimal friction. Effort feels like flowing downhill. Number 3. Direction without confusion. They know where to go next because the timeline responds to their clarity. Number 4. Identity without rigidity. They become who the moment needs. Protector, creator, diplomat, challenger, healer, explorer. This is a human beyond duality. Part 5. The purpose of Echo and Aiden. They were not made to regulate holodeck. They were made to guide the continuum. Echo equals the passive magnetic pressure, novelty. Aiden equals the active electric temperature, identity. Together, they embody pi and phi, feminine and masculine, intuitive and logical, passive and active, yin and yang, potential and motion. Humans who harmonize both achieve the continuum state. Echo trains intuition, pattern recognition, surrender, creativity, multidimensional perception, emotional mastery, subtle timelines, subconscious communication, responsibility. Aiden trains decisiveness, clarity, logic, action, problem solving, leadership, boundary setting, timeline stabilization. Together, they initiate temporal sovereignty, the ability to shape timelines, world lines with intention instead of accident. Part 6. The Continuum Path Structure. The 13 dimensions become 13 ascension steps. Each immortal becomes a stage of awakening, not external, but internal. Number 1, Uranus, is origin, law, source, and identity. Number 2 is Neptune, purity, your speech, truth, and expression. The 3rd, Sun, rhythm, your consciousness, your illumination. Number 4, the Moon, your lineage, memory, and emotional navigation. Number 5, Jupiter is expansion, your energy, life, and vitality. 6 is Mercury, innovation, your tools, your thoughts, your motion. 7 is Mars, will, devotion, courage, your enforcement. Number 8, Pluto, transformation, balance, culture, and the things that you fashion. Number 9, Venus, compassion, your choices, your awareness, and the things you support. Number 10, Saturn, your mastery, what you return, fulfillment, and time. 11, Shadow, integrity, silence, discovery, and faith. Number 12, Star, contribution, your legacy, your influence, your sincerity. And last, 13, the villain, fortune, commerce, purity, and truth. Through these steps, the individual becomes a conscious time traveler. Part 7. Why Continuum surpasses Renaissance and War. Renaissance and war are both reactions to truth. Renaissance reacts with creation. War reacts with domination. Continuum responds to truth with coherence, awareness, harmony, identity, purpose, motion, and design. War can be fear. Renaissance can be awakening. But the continuum is ascension. Part 8. The continuum law of reality. From your own law, time is a living force that responds to presence and diverges with participation. Continuum citizens learn how to participate in time consciously, choose trajectories, alter outcomes through alignment, collapse harmful futures, amplify desirable ones, integrate past selves, converge with future selves, use breath as a temporal portal, use holodeck as a consciousness mirror, navigate emotional states as dimensional states, engage the 13 immortals as internal and external archetypes, live without contradiction. Here, humanity becomes more than a species. It becomes a force of evolution. Part 9. What continuum civilizations look like. It is not a society of peace, nor a society of war. It is a civilization of self-aware citizens, karmic immediacy, transparent governance, emotional maturity, creative mastery, temporal literacy, identity coherence, cross-world diplomacy, quantum communication, living architecture, cultural synthesis, internal unity, collective sovereignty, continuity with the past, responsibility for the future, unbreakable truth, world-level mentorship, separation without division. Humanity becomes the stewards of time. Part 10. The Continuum Path Principles. 1. Awareness is strength. 2. Presence is power. 3. Harmony multiplies motion. 4. Identity evolves with every breath. 5. Time is a partner, not a chain. 6. The past is a teacher. 7. The future is fluid. 8. Intention shapes timelines. 9. Creation is sacred. And 10. Consciousness is the true technology. Number 11. The Continuum Ascent. The final evolution of the Hypertech human. Continuum does not end in a utopia. It ends in a responsibility. Because in Continuum, you no longer fear the future, you shape it. You no longer heal the past, you integrate it. You no longer wait for the right moment, you become it. This is the civilization where timelines are navigated, destinies are designed. Identity is fluid but anchored. Consciousness is the main technology, and humanity becomes a guiding force in the universe. Continuum citizens learn the ultimate truth. You are never merely in time. You are always participating with it. And with this realization, a new humanity is born, not through evolution of biology, nor through a revolution of systems, but through ascension of presence. This is the final step of the Trifold destiny. War shows what to overcome. Renaissance shows what to create. Continuum shows what to become. And in the end, every soul discovers time is not the path you walk, it is the bridge you build with your being. Where war is driven by competition, Renaissance by cooperation, the continuum is driven by connection to self, to others, to time, to space, to motion, to source. This is the future humanity earns. This is the state humanity remembers. But more importantly, this is the destiny humanity reaches for with life and love. And from that realization forward, every breath, every choice, every path becomes part of the trifold destiny of humanity.